The future of a nation does not lie in the size of its resources or the might of its industries. A nation succeeds when its children go to bed, guaranteed of their place in the changing world. And this is the promise we made to the people. We are a peculiar nation with a median age of 17 years and one of the youngest populations in the world. This reality is an invitation to rise up to the challenge of our nation's projection to be the third largest in the world by 2050, and with an overwhelming majority of our citizens under the age of 21. This demographic reality presents both an extraordinary opportunity and a pressing challenge. The solution lies in you, our dear youth. The Nigerian Youth Academy is therefore our bold response to this reality. Over the next 2 years, this academy will train and empower millions of young Nigerians. It will equip them with the skills, knowledge, and opportunities needed to compete with the rest of the world. This is not just an investment in their future, it is an investment in the future of our nation. We believe that education should not be limited to textbooks, but must build bridges between learning and doing, between tradition and innovation, and between local wisdom and global knowledge. That is what this academy sets out to achieve. The most secure person anywhere in the world is not the most credentialed, but the most skillful. However, we cannot guarantee the security of our human capital unless we create a robust, skills-driven learning environment. We have also made significant strides in our human capital development agenda. Programs like the 3 Million Technical Talent Free MTT initiative, the Skill of Artisans program SUFA, and the investment in digital and creative enterprises IDIs are interventions designed for this purpose. The establishment of the Nigeria Education Loan Fund (NELFUN) has broken down financial barriers to higher education for young Nigerians. This is our dream for you. Yet we must acknowledge the challenges that persist. Nigeria's human capital index ranking remains below its potential, with youth unemployment and learning poverty presenting critical barriers to progress. These statistics are just not numbers. They reflect lives disrupted, dreams deferred, and futures left uncertain. The Nigerian Youth Academy is our commitment to changing this narrative. This academy will focus on 3 critical areas: education and skills development, economic empowerment, and leadership and civic engagement. Through world-class training in digital literacy, technical skills and entrepreneurship, and the creative industries, we will ensure that our youth are equipped to compete on the global stage. Initiatives like the Youth Investment Fund and the Presidential Initiative for Youth Enterprise Clusters will provide financial support, mentorship, and resources to young entrepreneurs, while the establishment of a National Youth Development Bank will ensure access to the capital needed to turn ideas into thriving businesses. The Nigerian Youth Academy will nurture the next generation of leaders, training them in governance, policy making, and community development. We believe that the success of this initiative rests not in Abuja alone, but in the communities where real change is felt. I call on you to partner with us in building an avenue for the future, not as an act of charity, but as an investment in the economic prosperity of our nation. The road ahead will not be easy, but I am confident in the capability of young Nigerians. We are aware that the legacy we leave behind will not be defined by the roads we build or the offices we construct, but by the lives we have lived. Let history remember that in this defining moment, we choose to prioritize people over politics. invest in capacity over convenience, and build a nation that thrives in spite of its challenges, but because we confronted them head on. We believe and have demonstrated that you are not the leaders of tomorrow. You are the leaders of today. Therefore, this academy is a fitting gift to a generation taking charge.
Mr. President, sir, ably represented by the Vice President, made a promise to provide Nigerian youth with a platform to achieve their great dreams. The dreams of many Nigerian youths is to have a good job and live a good life. But many young people are not able to get this job they want because of skills needed in the job market today is completely different. The World Economic Forum reported in January this year that there will be millions of new jobs even in 2030. But skill gaps will stop many Nigerian youth from defending to this opportunity in the global market, especially for upscaling some of the skills. This is what we are doing with Nigerian Youth Academy. Unknown to us that we have two types of young people in the country today and generally in the world, the formal and the informal youth, which this platform for building the skills of the youth and create a better job opportunity for them. Mr. President, sir, Mr. Vice President, the NIA is a platform that will close the gap for many of our youths. NIA will train, connect, and empower the young people with skills they need for the job and entrepreneurship. When I was newly appointed, I engaged so many groups of young people who complains about Nigeria, the challenges, and a lot that they are facing as a young Nigerian. And I said, together, we can work together, we can think together, and we make this country proud. That is why I'm proud to tell you today that millions of them, thousands of them, are being engaged. Thereafter, I have a brainstorming sections with them for hours. And the process of this is what we are here seated down to launch officially to the young people. This initiative is for every Nigerian youth, and it is free. NIA represents determinations of Mr. President to help all youths to build their better future, life, create opportunity for themselves and their family. I would like to conclude with saying that a fellow of all youths can register for whatever course they are to take on the platform. And the beauty of it is that we have a greenhouse initiative in all 774 local governments, instructor in partnership with NNPC Foundations, Smildan, and a lot more of partnership in the system and outside the system. To our partners, I say thank you. Savita, which has made this a landmark victory. Sponsors, Providence Bank, Nexim Bank, National Insurance, NDIC, again, NNPC Foundation and FRS. Your contributions are important in making this initiative a success. I want to also thank our own, the Minister of Budgets and National Planning, for his support, especially on the NIA ambassadors that have been formed and launched out to today. I also wish to thank the support and the coordinations of the Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of Economy for being part of this success. We have a lot of ministers, governors forums, especially the support for the Greenhouse Initiative, the Director of Sweden, and the DG CEOs of government agency, Ambassador of Qatar again, and US, United States of America. All are here to support this scheme. A special thanks to Mr. President for his leadership and commitment for the youth development, and to every youth of this country. This is our chance. Get on NIA, learn his skills, and get engaged to take control of our future. Our goal with NIA is that in 2 years, we would deliver at least a youth with 2 skills of over 5 million Nigerian youths that we can get. And our mantra again for this is 1 youth, 2 skills.
Just mentioned when the Honorable Minister was giving his speech about his visit to the youth hub and met a lot of youth. One of the things he didn't mention was the mandate he gave to us. He said it very clearly: I want a skilled youth workforce. I want youth to have jobs. I want them to have money in their pocket. And the young people went to work. I'm happy to say that the platform today was built by Nigerian youths, working around the clock, working with the Honorable Minister and his team. So I want to also mention that as we continue to progress with NIA, the ambition is quite huge, is quite big. We're looking at over 60 million youths between the ages of 18 and 35. And like the minister said, we are trying to train 7 million and create 5 million jobs. That's very audacious. So the question everyone asked was, how do you reach 7 million people across the local government? That was very, very, very ambitious for us. But it's something that we looked at, and we started building some strategic partnerships. The Honorable Minister has been around the country. He's gone to different people to sign different partnerships. And like he mentioned, today we're happy to say that the greenhouse will be where Nigerian youth can go in and learn more. The next question that we kept asking ourselves was, how do you build jobs? How do you create employment? I'm happy to also say that the gig economy is the highest employer of work around the world. It's where young people like to work. I work with over hundreds of people, young people from different walks of life. And one of the things I will say is they seek work using their talent. So the gig economy is where we are going to play a lot, and a lot of young people are going to sit from different locations around the country, and they're going to put up their skills, and they're going to be hired. I was talking to a DG recently who said, I spend about $5,000 on the gig economy. I hire people from different parts of the world. When I mentioned NIA gigs to him, he was very excited. He said, now I can spend that money on Nigerian youths. So for the formal jobs, one of the things we looked at was, how do you partner to create jobs? We looked at the growing sectors around Nigeria, and we picked out a few of them. We looked at the insurance sector. The insurance sector is growing quite fast. So we signed a partnership with NICOM, and today NICOM is going to train 1 million people in partnership with the Chartered Insurance Institute. Then we looked at the data protection. Data protection needs 500,000 people, 500,000 young people that will go around the country and talk about data protection. That, again, is 500,000 jobs waiting to be filled. We looked at the CNG space. In partnership with certain other organizations, they need people. We looked at the non-oil export. In partnership with Nexim, they need people. We looked at the taxation space, and we looked across the country. So, Your Excellency, Mr. President, I'm happy to say that we are on track to deliver training to 7 million Nigerians and create 5 million jobs. Finally, I would like to say that NIA is more than a project. NIA is actually a movement, a very positive movement that Nigeria has long been yearning for, where the young people can come together in one digital platform. They can learn together, they can connect together, they can find jobs together, and after that, they can become more patriotic. When you ask a young Nigerian about patriotism, they want to see the country rewarding them for their effort, and that's what NIA is going to do. So I'll say that every country in the world has a turning point. Mr. President, this will be one of Nigeria's turning points, where we're going to look back and say, it was on this day that we all came together and launched the first ever digital platform that would transform Nigerian youth.
Minister, I discovered that when I become minister, I discovered that we have 2 different types of young people. We have the formal young people and we have the informal young people. And I also realized that if you really want to create a job, it is of a country that this particular country, it is handled by 70% of a population. Then how can you create a job within and outside it? And how can we even get things done? And we also discovered, after having a meeting in November with all private sectors and this, majority of what every one of them is saying is that skill gap, that when they come to them, when they involve them in different things, after they don't have the prerequisite skill gaps that they can use. Even the minorities that are to be given a job does not have. So we came together. I walked down to an hub in Abuja, and I have over 120, 130 young people. They were doing fine. They believed that they were obedient. They believed that they are thriving, doing the necessary things that they could do, but they don't believe in the country. And we have an engagement together. And we said we have a mantra. And what's this mantra? In 2 years, we want to see how we can train skilled and upscale the skilled of those that have even have skilled before. And a lot of people believe that skill is just on the roadside or whatever they think skill is. But skill is in every aspect. Every individual must just get skilled. And that was why we came up with one youth, two skills. That in 2 years' time, we want to see more than 5 million Nigerian youth have a skill, nothing less than 2 skills. And we came up with this to have a formal set of it and to have an informal set of this. And how do we have the informal set of this? The formal set of this is the platform, like having a Nigerian Coursera, where you go there, in your language, the language you understand, you can be teach, you can learn, and you can be open to a digital community. And we pick up the second part of it, which for the informal youth. We want to go to the grassroots and see how we can do. And we believe that we have the platform. We have the NYC, we have the NDE, we have a Smildan, we have a Nasenin, we have a lot of collaborations to make this work. And we are putting all these things together to go to all 774 local governments. All 774 local governments, and make sure that we have a greenhouse, which the president have approved the youth house in Abuja. But to simplify it to the grassroots, we are going to have a greenhouse in partnership with even the state government, so that we have the arms of government, the state government, the commissioner, and the local government. And that is why we are here today to launch it officially. And you saw those people that have been given. Before we put this platform out, we make sure that we run it for 8 months. Some are more than 8 months, but actively 8 months. And a lot of people registered. We just want to see how it's going to run first. And we discovered that it's learn, they get examined, different parts. We don't want to know. I don't know them. I've not seen them before. I'm seeing them for the first time where they call them out. It's not political, it's nothing. Just go there. And they learned and they passed. And we said that, okay, for launching of this thing, to also appreciate them, we partner with banks. It's in agriculture, whatever way you think you learned from. We partner with banks, we partner with different development partners and all that. US, Qatar, in their learning schemes and all that. And everybody came together and said, fine, we can still upscale them with startup after they've learned, so that they will get something tangible that they can use to do a startup. Maybe if they go from there, tomorrow they can still employ 2, 3, 4, 5 people. And that is just what you see. And that is near for you. One youth, 2 skills. A youth in this country must have at least 2 skills. That's not that. And target in 2 years' time is to have over 5 million. And again, to export from one youth, 2 skill to one local government, 1 product. And cottage and agro-line products. Not a gigantic all. It's one local government, 1 product. And we're talking about if you can have a pure water factory everywhere, littered in everywhere. If with the partnership of government, development partners and everything, you can have a gin factory in Agadagbobo where gins are being done. You can have a palm wine bottling company in Akoko where it's being done. We can have a leaves fuse inside that everybody goes to China to go and bring and say this medicinal. We can have it inside the nylon also and start selling. And that is what we want to put our initiative ideas come together irrespective of political party you are. This is Nigeria. We want to think about Nigeria first and make it proud of it.